Hello again, mentors. Next video in the last series that we've sent you then. We're talking about happiness still. We just mentioned in the video before this, you know, how you can't find happiness in the past, can't find it in the future. The fact that actually the only time you've got any control over is the here and the now. Also talk to the students about some of the misconceptions with regards to happiness and what makes you happy and what can bring you happiness. And you'll see from the slide that I'm showing you now that I think this is a massive misconception, that money can bring you happiness. We all know as adults that that's not true. Money brings you comfort, doesn't bring you happiness. It's that famous old adage. But I think for a lot of young people, this is a real kind of, I think it's a real misconception that money makes you happy. You know, the fact that you can go on holiday to the Maldives and stay in a water villa, you can have all the bling that you want, you can travel wherever you want in the world and drive a Ferrari or a Porsche or both, and the fact that, yeah, that can make me really, really happy. And a couple of the images that I showed the students and that I continue to show the students is the fact that that really, really is not the case, and that money isn't the answer when it comes to being happy. And when I showed them this slide, I think it kind of really accentuates that point, because I don't know if you can make them out here, but the people on this slide are the actress Emma Stone, the pop singer Zayn Malik, Lady Gaga, and the pop star Ariana Grande, who's probably one of the biggest, well, she is probably the biggest pop star in the world at the minute. And I showed this image to the students and they're all looking at it thinking, well, they're really, really rich and they're really, really successful, which is true. They can travel anywhere in the world. Yes, it's true. And they've got all the jewelry they want. And yes, it's true. But one of the things that I like the students to understand is that all four of these famous people, wealthy people, successful people, have been very open and very honest about their battles with anxiety and their battles with self-doubt. And those feelings of, am I good enough? Now, bear in mind, Emma Stone is an Oscar-winning actress. You know, Lady Gaga is an Oscar-nominated actress. Ariana Grande is probably the most streamed recording artist in the world over the last year. And Zayn Malik was one of the members of the biggest boy band of the last 20 years. And the point I was making to the students is, money can bring you all kinds of things, but there are some things that it can't protect you from. There are some things it can't bring you and some things it can't protect you from. And it doesn't protect all of these famous people from feeling anxious and from having those feelings of self-doubt. Now, I'm not a rich man at all. I have a nice home, I have a nice car, I'm very fortunate, but I live with anxiety every day of my life. You know, and nothing could take that away. And I have a nice mortgage, as I say, and I earn okay money and whatnot, but nothing could stop that. None of that could stop my mum passing away last year, which she did. You know, so the point I make to these students is, don't get lost in that fog of money equals success equals happiness, because the facts of the matter are that's wrong. Because you could win, I say this to them, you could win £5 million on the lottery tomorrow and you could buy a huge 8-bedroom house and have Porsches and Ferraris on the drive and have a swimming pool in the garden and have everything you ever wanted in that house. But then all of a sudden that money could disappear. It could be gone. And then you're left with the anxiety of, well, who's going to look after this house? How am I going to maintain this house? How am I going to look after this garden? How am I going to maintain this pool? I can't afford to insure this car anymore. Because as soon as you've got money, it can be gone. And I told the students is that money is no guarantee for happiness. It really, really isn't. The fact that it's inside you and the things that you understand best about yourself that make you happy that are really important. Far, far, far more important than money. And I'm sure you agree, money's lovely, everybody loves money. I'm not driven by money, I never have been. Which begs the question, if money isn't going to make me happy, you know what I mean, what will? Will it be someone else? No, 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 no. And this is another massive preconception talk to the students about. It's that phrase, isn't it? It's the one you see, you make me happy in a way no one else can. It's like when you're at school and you're trying to date someone, and you're saying, oh, if only I could date her or him, that would make me so happy. It goes back to finding happiness in the future. You don't know that. You know what I mean? They might, but you don't know that. And what you're doing when you say, you make me happy in a way no one else can, or I can't be happy without you, is you're putting all your dreams of happiness in the hands of another person, is what I say to them. And that is a risky, risky game to play. You know what I mean? We all love people, of course we do. You know what I mean? I love my wife more than anything in the world and my kids, but I cannot rely on them and them only to make me happy. You've got to be responsible for it yourself. You know what I mean? You could have designs on this man or this woman or this boy or girl in the student's case all you want, but you might start dating them and they might turn out to, I don't know, fart in their sleep. You know what I mean? That's not going to, I mean, no one needs that in their life, do they? We've all been there. It's not going to make you happy. So the point I'm making is, when I talk to the young students, what I'm trying to make them understand is they shouldn't rely on money, shouldn't rely on other people, shouldn't rely on the past, and shouldn't rely on the future to make them happy. They have to have an angle on that themselves. They have to have an idea of what makes them happy. And once they know what that is, they then become a more attractive proposition to other people, but also to employers, which we come back to. But this begs the big question. What is happiness? I say to the students with quite aplomb, really, I have no idea. I say that to them, I say, I've got no idea. And I shouldn't have any idea. Do you know why? Because as you well know, what makes me happy might not make you happy. What makes him happy doesn't make her happy, and so on and so on and so forth. Happiness is a different thing, it's a different feeling, and it's a different emotion for every single person in the world. And until you discover the little things in life, not money, not relationships, not cars, not joy, that make you happy, I don't think you're ever going to really know. I went to work the other day on my motorbike. I've got a 250 motorbike. I love it. And I was going over the dike and the fields had just been mowed and the grass was smelling and the sun. I thought, oh my God, I feel happy. You know what I mean? It's simple. It's one of the things I try and get through to the students is simple things matter. You know, simple pleasures matter just as much as the next big thing, just as much as the next holiday, because you probably only get one of them a year. You know what I mean? Just as much as the next girl you date or boy you date, because you don't know how many times that's going to happen. Just as much as your next car. However simple, silly little things are there every single day, but you will miss them if your eyes are closed and you're focusing on the next big thing. Then you're letting the everyday pass you by. And there is happiness every day if your eyes are open and you look for it. So that's something now ahead of the last video in a sec that I'd like you to chat to the students about, talking about silly things, and it's quite a light bit really, that make you happy, and ask them about silly things that make them happy. And they might find, oh, I feel a bit silly with this, but I'm hoping, because I've gotten to know you and because I've engaged so much over these past few weeks, you know, what are the silly things that make you happy? Little tiny things that make you think, yeah, that makes me feel good, and then flip it over to them and just have a chat about that. And also, have a chat about the misconceptions that I was talking about. You know, have you ever fallen foul of, oh, money will make me happy, or this person will make me happy, or that object will make me happy? Because if you have, I'd love you to sort of second what I was saying to them and tell them, you know, Jack's right, because this happened to me and blah, blah, blah. So your experiences of happiness and where you found it and unexpected places and silly things that make you happy, because you will agree, and you're probably not as old as me, I'm 46. The older you get, the more important them silly little things become. So I'd like to have a chat about that. And then after that, we're going to have our last little video and we're going to be talking about how important work is when it comes to these young people's happiness.